Don't despair, brother. We're here to save the Commonwealth.
Unless you like getting radiation sickness.
Hey.
What you got for me?
Grab that.
Uh-huh. Say the word.
Hey.
Hmm?
Get that.
Of course.
Pick that up.
Yep.
Grab, get,
I don't think I can get to
get,
that.
oh, move, head, go there.
That's a plan. That's out of my reach.
Hey,
Shoot.
get that.
Can do.
Pick that up.
Of course.
Take that.
That's a plan.
Grab that.
Yep.
Get that.
Uh-huh.
Pick that up.
Can do.
Take that.
Of course.
Grab that.
Can do.
I've checked and rechecked everything.
Let's do this.
All right.
Sure.
Head up onto the platform. You wanted to get into the Institute, right? Well, what are you waiting for? Let's see. Relays dialed in. Beam emitters warmed up. Everything looks green. Let me start scanning for the signal. Cross your fingers. I'm inputting as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. I put a clever little program on this holotape that'll scan their network and download anything it finds. If you place it in any terminal down there, it'll do the rest. Bring it back to me and I'll see if I can make sense of whatever it found. Well, well, looks like we have a winner. RF wave capture complete. Ramping the emitter. 60%, 80%. Emitter spiking but steady. All that's left is to throw the transmit switch. Transmitting in 3...
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy. Staying underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean. I've been looking for you for so long.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
I'll kill them for this. All of them.
I don't know you.
Please, Sean. I'm your father.
Father? Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Please, let's start.
I could kill you. Right here. Right.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, it's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me.
Sure.
I am.
Bullshit.
Is it? In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your... But then you... Is it really? And...
But why? Why?
Ah, now that...
Right.
At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific... So they followed the best...
Yeah, you lost me. I don't see the point of any of this.
You don't see the connection. Let me try to explain. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute, but then the Institute, I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became... I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me...
Sean. It's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
After what I've seen, I pity the man. He was as much a victim as anything.
After what he did to you, I'm shocked you would be so generous. But yes, I understand you've experienced things. Perhaps you ended up knowing him better. I, for one, will never truly forgive him. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and he never failed the Institute. But his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't... What else?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over them.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. But what else can I say?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility the Institute...
Sure. It doesn't matter what they think. What matters is what you do.
I'm glad we see it the same way. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us. The Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Yes.
I know. I know you've been through so much. I'm pleased to see it has not impaired your judgment. Forgive me. I'd assumed that after everything I'm sure you've seen above ground, you would be more than a bit biased against us. There is much to be done. You'll need time to acclimate yourself, a chance to become acquainted with our procedures.
I'll do whatever it takes. It's worth it.
I am glad to hear that. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads, Dr. Fillmore, and finally
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
It seems like a strange choice. On more than one level.
I can understand how it might seem that way. It is something new. New discoveries are always welcome. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
Seriously? You really believe a human could love a synth?
That's a difficult question. I suppose it depends on how closely we've managed to mimic human behavior and emotions. Yours is a unique position. You may be the only one that's truly able to answer these questions right now. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some...
Sean.
Perhaps someday our synths can reclaim the Commonwealth.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this
Greetings.
month.
As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface.
I don't know.
How may I assist you
Most
today?
of them have lasted long
I'll take a
past
look,
their
sure.
lifespan. Fans. If you ask me, they were... built pretty well.
It's an honor
I can't
to
argue
have
with
you
that.
here, sir.
Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit is going to return to duty.
Thanks again.
Of course.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Hi, Doc.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much.
I wanted to kill the son of a bitch who murdered my wife.
Kellogg always was a cold bastard. If you ask me, we're better off without him. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time. Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Allie,
Hey, what do you need?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Dr. Fillmore.
Hi there. Something I can help you with?
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it. Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
Good to see you.
When are you going to tell me about...
You